Okay, gang, I am going to attempt try to show you how I did my throttle calibration on the JETI DS-16. So bear with me. Oh, fuck, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Okay, so what you need is the endpoints on your radio to do the throttle calibration for the ESC. God, I can't talk at all. So I got my bound new receiver, brand new. It's shiny, it's pretty. I have my old receiver out here. Still got everything plugged into it, but I did remove all the power from like the NASA and this one. So I just have power right now going into that one right there. So the only thing that sucks about these things, there's no light, there's no nothing that tells you that this is on. You see it on here. It'll actually come up and say receiver bound and gives you a little beep. So now we're gonna have to plug in the batteries, and I can't do that while holding this stupid camera.
Timer 5 minutes 0 seconds.
Yeah, it's probably gonna do that.
Timer 5
all the time.
0 seconds.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in my batteries and we'll see if we hear the sounds since we're calibrating. I already did it once. I fucked it all up. So when I plug this in, there's the initial 3 beeps. You need the endpoints, and they're not called endpoints. So I'm gonna go into menu, go into model. I'm gonna go into menu again. I'm gonna go into model because you gotta first you go that one, then you go this one, and this selects it. So down in this, what am I doing? Exit. Anytime you fuck up, just hit escape. It goes back to where you're doing. Me and my fat frickin' fingers. So model, and I'm going into servo setup, and here you can see like I've got aileron. So that one is selected. You can go down here and do any of this stuff up here. What we need is the throttle endpoints. So I figured out that the max positive and max negative is like an endpoint. So I'm gonna select this one to change it. I'm gonna go to throttle, select it, and then I'm gonna come back down to max positive. And you can see here, I have 81 to 67. I've actually done this already. And now I'm just trying to figure out how to show you guys how I did it. So you want these two right here to start out at roughly 30%. Then on the max positive, when you plug it in, you'll have your throttle all the way at the top, and you're going to start at about 30%, and you're going to work your way up. And I'm slowly bringing it up. There's 60, there's 70, and now it's not working. All right, so figured out what I did wrong. I went through and corrected all the throttle curves and all that stuff to be flat. Can't have a flat throttle curve to do calibration. You need 0 to 100. Otherwise it doesn't work. So that's what happened here before. All right, so I have my pitch or my throttle at maximum, linear curve, 0 to 100. I have the endpoint down at 30%. We're gonna start this again. All right, let's see if it fucking works. Okay, initial beep. Now we're gonna bring this up. From 30%, there's 50%, there's 60%. I slow down when I get to 70%, and I start doing individual things. Okay, that's where you stop. You do three more clicks. 1, 2, 3. Now we're coming down to the bottom one. Okay, there's the 3. Now we're gonna go on the negative side and calibrate on the negative side. So I'm at, there's that. Stopped at 64%. I'm going to do 3 more clicks. 1, 2, 3. And I should be done. Now you're hearing it beep, beep, because I have it set up to let me know that I actually have a battery plugged in. So now we're done. So I am unplugging this, and I am undoing the radio, and it'll go, signal lost, signal lost, signal lost. Oh my God, it's gonna die. Clearing that out. Now I'll show you what I did with the throttle curve. I'm going back in here, going back in the menu, and I'm going into the model, and, oh, nope, that's wrong. Go back out. I'm going into heli tuning, and I'm going into my throttle curve, because right now I had to set it at a standard. I have 3 modes. I have 0, I have 30%, and I have 70%, all on my idle up switch, just like I do with all of my other stuff. So it's all in there. So right now it's at a standard type curve, 0 to 100%. So what we need to do is we need to change that to the flat line of all 0 or all 30, all 70, or all 100%, depending on what you do. I have mine set at 0, 30, and 70. So I come in here and change it to the constant. And I go over here, click that, and right, you can see that line going up. And you can see the in and you can see the out. Well, the out needs to be, for my position, needs to be at 0, because I don't want anything turning on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Then I can come back here and do, you can select any one of these 3 things. So now we're done. I wonder, let's take a look and see if I
idle RPM.
There you go. So there is 30%.
Flight RPM.
And then there's my 70%. So you can actually see
idle RPM.
And we're good. Smooth. Okay, so now I'm gonna plug it in. You're gonna hear it say, it's not gonna say anything because I haven't programmed to say, oh, it's bound. You're good. Plug it in. It says receiver bound on the thing. So I don't need to show you. You guys can figure it out. So I'm going to plug in my ESC here so that we can test. And this is the only thing I have plugged in. I don't have anything else. This was just a test to see if I could figure this shit out. There we go. Okay. We're in like Flint. So, theoretically...
Timer, 4 minutes, 56 seconds.
Yes, I know. Thank you very much. I flip it into idle. And it should spin up to my slow RPM. And I'll be over here so you guys can see. And you can't see it. You still can't see it. Haha. Maybe I'll come down here. All right.
Timer, 4 minutes, 56 seconds.
When I flip it into idle, it'll go to my idle set RPM, which is my 30%.
Idle RPM.
There we go. The low RPM. Then I go to flight RPM. Hey, it worked! Coming back to idle. And then finally off, 0. And it should tell me if I dip this thing.
Timer, 4 minutes, 45 seconds.
That's how much I have left. So, there you go. I actually did something right. Like twice, maybe even 3 times in a row. Got it to work. So, on to the next thing.